Hello, good morning, and welcome
Well,
to this. I'm sorry, what?
no, sorry, go. I have to turn my volume down.
Hello, and
Go
welcome
on.
to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar and the website onthisday.com.
For links to those sources, to music, and anything else potentially interesting, maybe even things that we gather throughout the show, there are in the underbar, the description below, those links and all that stuff. Anyway, I am Xander,
I'm Scott.
and today is Saturn's Day, also known as
Yeah.
Saturday, September 10th, 2022.
Did you
We might
hear
not
any
be
of that?
getting joined by the meat cleaver today. He's feeling not too well.
Mm,
Yeah, he's farting like a howitzer,
understandable.
essentially. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway,
So how are we today?
what?
How are we today? How's everybody out there?
Well, I'm doing all right. I was farting like a howitzer the other day. Actually, yesterday, yesterday when I had to go up and leave immediately.
Have you?
Yeah, I had like you gotta go. But it turns out it wasn't that. It was all just
Finally.
hot air. So yeah. Anyway, why don't you start us off in the year 422?
Okay. Alrighty. So, first historical event, right? 422?
Yeah, 422.
Sorry, hold on. 422, Saint Celestine I begins his reign as Catholic Pope.
All right.
I'm trying to humor this dude here. You pick up your
Let's see here. 1547, if you want.
1547.
Well,
All right,
actually-
1547.
Hold on.
Huh?
Before that, 1349. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not have dead air while simultaneously looking for any other articles prior to these highlighted ones. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, if you want
1349.
yeah.
Okay, 1349. Jews who survived the massacre in Constance, Germany, are burned to death.
Damn.
Not good.
No. Dodge the bullet.
So they survived it only to have that happen.
They
Damn.
survived one massacre and just went on to the next. So
Yep.
I guess they're God's chosen people to get killed. I don't know.
Mhm. I don't know.
Anyway, continue.
1547.
Yeah.
Okay, 1547. English demand Edward the sixth. Wednesday the 10th or something. Mary, Queen of Scots. What are those numbers?
The age. He was aged
Oh.
to wed to Mary Queen of
Oh.
Scots, who was at the age of 5. So an
Yeah,
arranged
that's why
marriage, a
that-
10-year-old to a 5-year-old. Yikes.
That didn't make much sense. That's why I didn't know.
Yeah, well, it makes sense back then. I mean, arranged marriages for kids that young were actually kind of commonplace back then. So, I mean, politics. If you can have, a member of your family, marry into a member of another family, then you have affiliations with that family and all the lands they rule over, and vice versa. And it's all politics. It was literally just politics. Anyway, moving on up into 1608, John Smith was elected
I'm just
president.
doing that little show thing while.
What?
Okay.
What?
Yes. So wait, where are we at?
1608, John Smith
Okay.
was elected president of Jamestown Colony Council, Virginia. 1776, George Washington asked for a spy volunteer. Nathan Hale volunteered. So there we go. So, spies. Yep. And then we have 1823, Simon Bolivar was named president of Peru. Alright.
Sorry.
No, that was my 3 right there.
No.
It seems like you're a little busy. I'm going to continue.
No,
on.
I'm not. I'm not.
All right.
All right. Do you read your thing?
Yeah, I got my 3. 1838, if you wish.
All right. 1838. Hector Berlioz's opera Benvenuto Cellini premieres in Paris.
Huh. 1845 is interesting, but you can skip it if you want. Up to you.
Well, it's a stock exchange. All right, 1845, King Willem II opens Amsterdam Stock Exchange.
Economy, you know? This guy looks like a caveman.
He's almost got like my hair, but a big beard as well.
Yeah. He has your hair, but like...
1846, Elias Howe takes out a U.S. patent for a lock-stitch sewing machine. That's pretty cool.
Lock-stitch sewing machine. Like, what is that? Let's see here. A lock-stitch sewing machine. What is a sewing machine lock-stitch? A sewing machine stitch formed by the looping together of two threads on two threads, one on each side of the material being sewn. Okay, so like a zipper. That's cool.
It is.
1847 is intriguing, you know.
Also, 1847, the first theater opens in Hawaii.
Dang.
Huh.
Obviously, a stage theater. This is well before, you know, movies and everything. So this is like, you know,
right.
Stage operas, plays, you know, thespian
yeah.
activities. 1849, speaking of thespians, first performance by U.S. actor Edwin Booth for Richard III.
Speaking of thespians.
Yes. Thespians. So, and then, let's see here. Let's see, I'll just take us up into 1863. Georges Bizet's opera Les Pécheurs de Perles premiered in Paris. Perles. Something like that. I don't know.
Maybe we got to study more of this opera theater stuff because I really don't know much about it.
Yeah, it's an interest. You know, I if you want to talk about a lot of things, I got to study a shitload. You know, but like I just let information come to me for the most part because like you know, when you seek it out, especially in today's world, you might go down an invalid rabbit hole. You know, however, there's so much misinformation, this, that, and the other. And I'm not talking about like the political agenda buzzword misinformation. No, there really is a lot of things out there that are straight up lies. So, you know, if you start going out and studying it, you might go down the wrong hole. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of going down the wrong hole, in 1872, Karl Marx spoke in Amsterdam.
Cool.
Yep, Marxism, communist philosopher, you know. So,
yep, born of the Marxism people are kind of doing today.
Yeah, well, he invented it.
I know.
So, yeah.
It's actually kind of fascinating if you study up on it. I'm not too, like, fresh on it, but when I was, it's pretty interesting.
Well, Vladimir Lenin, you know, the founder of, you know, the Soviet Union, he was a Marxist.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
True.
So, 1882, if you want. You know, I'm also looking at other ones here. I'm trying to like speed read here.
Sure.
Well, 1894 is pretty interesting there. That's pretty cool. 97 as well. Wow, there's a lot of interesting ones here.
Yeah, there's a lot in between there. Yeah.
Well, it's your turn.
1884, Congressman John R. Lynch presides over Republican National Convention. I don't know. You could look some of this stuff up if you want, just so there's no dead time.
Well, I was talking about 1894.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead, 1894. London taxi driver George Smith is first to be fined for drunk driving. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Even back then,
that's a fun fact for you.
Yeah. Well, that brings up like an interesting thought. Like, if you ever saw the movie Million Ways to Die in the West, there was one point where like the guy was like really drunk and he was getting on the horse. It's like, oh, you know, you're not supposed to drink and horse. It's like, was there a really actual thing? Like, you know, we have drinking and driving, you know, these days and stuff, but like, you know, like it makes sense. You don't want to get on the horse drunk. Did they have a thing? Like, you know, was that actually the saying? Like, don't drink and horse, you know? Don't drink and ride? Like, you know.
You know, I'm sorry, but this reminds me of something I seen recently with an Amish guy who was drunk in the carriage and the horse was just blindly walking down the street and the cop was like trying to stop the horse.
I think I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And that actually, that brings up a question I have that I'm going to be bringing up in the Jabberwocky, actually.
Okay.
If Amish people are riding their carts on roads, Does that mean that they're utilizing modern technology? Because the roads were created, by, engineering and electricity and all these machines and everything. So even
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't make the roads, they're utilizing it, you
Yeah.
know? So does that mean that they're
I
breaking
don't
their
know.
golden rule? I would
Mm,
say yes, you know?
there's a,
I
that's a
mean,
view I could see.
you can't sit there and say, "Oh, we're not utilizing modern technology while still reaping the benefits of modern technology." If they really want
Yeah.
to adhere to their ways, then they should go and get off road. Go travel on little cart paths. Don't stay off our road. You don't want to use electricity, fine. Then you're not allowed to use our roads either because that was made with electricity. So
True.
where do you stop the line? Like that's a great question. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, enough with my ramblings.
Mhm.
1898, if you so wish.
1898, Lord Kitchener's ship sails from Khartoum to Fashoda in Sudan, or Fashada.
Mm. He was a general and secretary of war, but for what country? Um, British. Okay, that makes sense. You have one more if you want. I'll toss you in another one. I think if it's not already been your third, I don't know. Whatever. Um, well, 1910. Well, 1905. That's interesting. 1910. Interesting. 1913. Yeah, maybe. 1913. Oh, the last 1913. Definitely, I would say. It's pretty cool. And then you have a baseball one in 1918. I'm just reading these ones off for you. Oh, you're muted. Okay.
My bad. No,
Oh,
I'm here. Sorry. Sorry.
are you in the middle of
And I
something,
was
dude? Like,
I didn't
don't
even
feel.
realize it.
Are,
Huh?
are you in the middle of something, dude? Like, don't feel obligated to be here. Like.
No, I'm not. It's fine, dude.
Okay.
All right. No, it is. I'm not.
All right.
I just don't want to hear like me eating on camera. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So 1913. They're all pretty good.
Yeah. Well, 1905. That's interesting. 1910. The first 1913. The last 1913. I've heard about that one actually. That's really interesting.
Hmm.
So, if you want, you can take them all. Fuck it. I don't care.
All right. So you want to start out with 1905?
Your choice, man. Your turn. Your decision.
Well, yeah. I mean, as long as you find it interesting as well.
Yeah. All I can do is
So,
provide numbers. Like if you want to take them, take them. If you don't, you don't. No skin off my nose.
all right. Fair enough. 1905 Japanese battleship Mikasa explodes at her moorings after the magazine catches fire, killing 251 seamen. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's why they call it the poop deck. Uh
Uh,
oh. I guess this joke is coming to a head. Okay, stop
oh
me!
no.
Stop me! Stop me! I'm on a roll like a baker. Oh God.
All right. I don't know. What are we getting? 1913. All right. Cleveland call and post forms.
Huh. Call and post. What is that? Cleveland call and post. What is call and post? Oh, it is a African American weekly newspaper based in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so it's a black U.S. citizen newspaper. Okay, well that's cool. I had no idea. I would have never guessed that had I not looked that up. I thought it was something to do with post office or something. In the
Yeah, that's what I would have
envelopes.
thought.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely putting a link to this in the underbar. Anyway,
Um. Yeah, I'll do the 1918 one.
what
Boston
about
Red Sox.
the last 1913?
Okay. Lincoln Highway opens as first paved coast-to-coast highway across the U.S.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty early, actually.
Yeah.
I wonder
Actually,
what they paved it with. Was it brick paved, or what?
no,
Were
no,
they
no.
doing tar back then?
Um, well, brick was way too labor intensive because they didn't have a machine to lay bricks like we have these days.
Uh-huh.
And that would have been highly costly too. But no, it was probably just like like basic asphalt, gravel, stuff like that. But
Ah.
some of it still remains to this day. Like there's a video about it, like in New York, there's a sign, you know, there's signs or something, like not street signs, but there's like a plaques or something. Oh, this is where the start of the Lincoln Highway was, you know, in Manhattan, New York, or whatever, like stuff like that. Like, so there's still some stretches that exist, but others have been demolished. They've been renamed. They've been like redirected and things like that. So it doesn't exist as one straight line anymore, unfortunately. But little pieces, just like Route 66, still exists in pieces, bits and pieces across the nation. So.
Well, back in 1913, it probably made the traveling a lot safer.
Oh yeah, no, dude, yeah, it's incredible. I have like a little book of, about Las Vegas and everything. Around 1913, most roads were still not paved. Everybody was still doing horses and buggies and everything. So try driving like a primitive car on a dirt road filled with potholes and puddles and shit. Yeah. And
it's not a good. It's not a good thing if a horse tips over. So.
Well, the horse can get back up. Most likely. Yeah. So. Anyway, take 1918, and then we'll switch into my turn, if that's cool.
Yep. 1918 Boston Red Sox and Chicago Cubs players threatened to boycott the World Series unless they're guaranteed $2,500 to the winners and $1,000 each for the losers. Yeah, they were barely getting paid back then, so. Like, at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they should get paid. They're out there, they're doing the work. Why is the ticket booth keeping all the money, so to speak?
And I guess that was a lot of money back then.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot of money today. What can you do with $1,000? A lot.
Are you gonna be alone?
Yeah, I'm doing this thing for now.
I know, how long?
If you need to, go ahead. Go help your granddad or whatever. Like, I'll be here when you get back, okay?
He just came in and asked me.
Okay.
Fine. I don't know, he's probably gonna play his instrument or something.
Okay.
Alright.
Anyway, in the year 1919, China became a member of the League of Nations. Yep.
Well, what were they doing before that? Why did they become a member of the League of Nations?
Well, League of Nations didn't form until after World War I, and this is just the next year after it. It ended in 1918. So this is like fresh, the organization is fresh, so, they're bringing in as many people as they can to avoid another conflict, which ultimately failed, as we all know. So. Yeah. And then now we have the United Nations, which is driving the world into another wartime thing. So, anyway, 1919 as well, New York City welcomed home General John J. Pershing and 25,000 World War I soldiers. Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. That didn't happen in the Vietnam War. They didn't welcome any of them home.
Well, they did. In some certain ways, But yeah, no, the Vietnam era, yeah, that's right. Because I remember there's this one scene, and I think it was Jarhead, where near the end they're all. I haven't seen the movie. I've just seen clips on YouTube, where they're all in the bus and everything, and everybody's all celebrating, and then this Vietnam era guy popped in. He's like, "Semper Fi, Marines, Semper Fi, yada yada. You made it home, great, yada yada." And then he started having a meltdown.
Yeah.
It was really, really rough,
But yeah, seeing that for World War I, that's quite a bit, 25,000 soldiers, so.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But then in 1923, the Irish Free State joins League of Nations.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So League of Nations was actually being truthful in upholding their standards and not, picking favorites and actually being open, because I am for a free Ireland. What the British are doing to the Ireland, is not as bad, but the same aspect, the same mentality of what China is doing to the Tibetans, to the Uyghurs, to the Christians.
Yeah.
To anybody who's not native Chinese, they're doing that too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
The more you know.
Yep. And in 1924, Leopold and Leob were found guilty of the murder of Robert Franks in Chicago in the crime of the century, apparently.
I guess that was the title, in a paper or something.
Yeah. The crime of the century, well, it's only 1924. The century is very young. Not literally, not even in the first quarter. You have one more year, before you're 25% done. So. Oh, well, then 1926, here we go. Germany joined the League of Nations.
Well, that was popular.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you want to prevent, another global conflict like that, like, talk to each other, communicate. That's what I always say. Get together, communicate, figure it out, like,
Yeah.
but yeah. Uh, anyway, your turn.
Let's see.
1931, that's an interesting quote, the blue one at least,
Sure. Lord Cecil, British government says war was never so improbable.
Yep.
War was never so improbable.
That can be taken in two different ways.
Yeah, that's why I read that twice. I'm like, huh.
Yeah. And that can be taken two different ways, and both ways are just as true.
Yeah.
And they coincide. Strange way they both are true and they work hand in hand.
It's like it's never it's like it's not a probable thing to happen, but it's also never improbable. I'm trying to take that into how it means, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next?
It's 1939. Oh, here we
Canada
go.
under. Sorry, what?
I was just saying, here we go.
Oh. 1939, of course. Canada, under the leadership of Mackenzie King, declares war on Germany. Oh yeah, there we go. Right, you said.
Yep, because Germany invaded Poland 9 days ago on that date, September 1st, I believe. Yep. Oh well, 1940 is interesting. Speaking of that.
Buckingham Palace hit by a German bomb in London.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a picture just the other day about, there's like, it's a photo of Buckingham Palace. It had gotten bombed during the Battle of Britain, the air raids and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 42?
We're getting into that World War II year, so there's bound to be a lot of stuff to read.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's already, I see 42 here. I see 43. That's interesting right there. The black 43 under the blue one. So in the blue 42. Blue 42, hut.
You can do the first one, I guess, the British one.
Yeah.
British Royal Air Force drops 100,000 bombs on Dusseldorf, Germany.
That's a lot of ordnance.
Oh, yeah. Damn. What a way to start bombing in the war.
And 43 if you want, the black one under the blue one.
Alright. The other one. Okay, so German troops occupy Rome and took over the protection of Vatican City.
Yep.
Took.
Yep. Yeah. Whoever's writing these has some dream damage, obviously. And, I don't know, maybe like we really should start emailing them and being like, hey, you have a discrepancy here, you have a discrepancy there. Why the hell did you not even talk about the death of Genghis Khan? That's still bothering me.
Well, yeah.
Like seriously, dude. Like how's that not even like there? Not just not even highlighted, but like not even there,
Yep.
Like I wouldn't even know if it wasn't for Queen, So yeah.
Somebody must have had off that day at the site. I don't know.
Or maybe they're omitting information intentionally to alter, minds and make us forget certain things in history. It's always been done, Like how many thousands of civilizations out there were conquered and their history erased and completely forgotten through the sands of time. Like that scene. That scene from 300 when Xerxes was threatening to like make knowledge about Sparta illegal and threatening to cut people's tongues out and executing them for even talking about Sparta. Like, how many times has that actually succeeded?
True.
So, and it's happened before, it's happened again. And that's where the world's heading right now, and it's really scary. As a historian, it is morbidly terrifying to just see everything happening. It's like I've been here before, well, not physically, but I've seen this before through text, and it's not a good ending. So
I don't know. Hopefully not. I can just hope for the best,
Yeah, well, all we can do, is do what we got with what we have, and that's what I'm doing with the show. You're doing it with me on the show. Anybody who joins it, we are the resistance. We really
Resistance,
are.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, 1943, Lieutenant General Omar Bradley arrived in Prestwick/London. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. 1944. Lieutenant General Frederick Browning against Montgomery. But, sir, I think we might be going a bridge too far. Yep. That was during the ill-fated, what was it called? Oh, why can't Operation Market Garden. That was back when, like, we had a choice. We can either give Patton all the gas for tanks and do a land campaign to get to Germany, or Montgomery wanted everything, us to paradrop into the Netherlands and everything. And because Montgomery played politics better than Patton, Montgomery won. And his plan was completely needless. We lost a lot of people needlessly, a lot of casualties on both sides. All for what? Like, why are we attacking the Netherlands when we can do a decisive blow against, Germany itself? But Montgomery just likes to prance around the problem and not deal with it. Montgomery was a fucking idiot. So, anyway, 1945, Mike the Headless Chicken was decapitated in Fruscia, Colorado. He survived for another 18 months before choking to death.
Yeah, that is some story. I remember this.
Yeah.
Seeing this over, that is just wild.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's just where, it happened, the position. Like, I guess they can live without a brain or something ahead. I have no idea.
Yeah. Apparently, though, it was like hitting the ground with its stump trying to eat food. And then,
God.
The guy kept it alive, and, this is a little graphic, but, the guy kept him alive by feeding it sugar water with, an eyedropper through the neck hole.
Yeah.
Just, gross, but, yeah. Anyway.
I wonder what they call it. They call it Miracle Mike. Is that really a miracle, or is that just sad?
Well, it's a miracle that it's still alive, but at the same time, it's a morbid miracle that,
Right.
Because that's the thing, what is luck? What is bad luck? What is a miracle? What is not? It's all in speculation. It's all in perspective, One
True.
man's trash is another man's treasure,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody cut off my head and my body kept living for 18 months, some people would consider that a miracle. Well, I'm fucking dead. My head's gone. My body's still alive, but that's it.
Yep.
So it's not a miracle for me,
Yeah.
Anyway, 1945, Vidkun Quisling was sentenced to death for collaborating with Nazis. Good.
Quisling.
Yep. Prime Minister of Norway and Nazi collaborator. Yep. Yep. And actually, Norway, though, the Netherlands, and I'm not sure. Where is the Netherlands? Let's see. Netherlands. Because I do know. Okay, so the Netherlands. That's them, okay. But I do know that, I think Switzerland? Where's Switzerland? Let's see here. Switzerland map. Nope, then it's not them. Well, hold on a second. Let me bring this up. Europe map. Why can't I remember? Okay, here we go. Finland. It was Finland. Finland was actually part of the Axis powers because the Soviets were trying to invade them. The Winter War, the White Death, about all that. So they sided with the Axis to fight against the Russians, and actually during Operation, why can't I remember this? The one where Germany invaded the Soviet Union. They actually had a plan with Finland to act as belligerents to, keep some pressure up there, so Germany isn't fighting all of Russia's, Western forces and such like that. Why can't I remember the name?
There's still good history facts, though.
Yeah. Let's see here. Name of German invasion of Russia. Barbarossa, of course. Operation Barbarossa. Yeah, that's what it is, right there.
Huh.
Yeah. And then, let's see here, we have 1950, Joe DiMaggio became the first to hit 3 home runs in a game at Griffith Stadium. Dang.
Wow, so at that stadium in general, that's pretty cool.
First
of course, he was the one who was married to Marilyn Monroe, that's so, besides being a Yankee and a great Hall of Fame player, he's known for that as well.
Huh. Well, it says here, Babe Ruth was the first player to hit 3 home runs in a game at least once both leagues. Okay, so that's both leagues and such, but this is ever.
Yeah, I think this was just at that specific Griffith Stadium.
Well, this is why it's weird because English is wonky in this exact way. This could be 3 home runs in that specific stadium, but then again, if they're talking about that kind of record, then why haven't we spoken about that kind of record before? Because there are how many hundreds of stadiums? You know, that record would be for every one. So
Yeah.
I think that this is like the first one to hit 3 home runs in a game. Period. He just so happened to do it at Griffith Stadium. So
Right.
I think that's the thing. So it's the first for Griffith Stadium, no matter what. But I think that this is the first, no matter what period, in all of sports. So I don't know.
Just like, well, I don't know. You'll probably read some of the other ones, but I was just gonna mention the 1956 non-highlighted one, but there's probably some other ones in there as well.
All right. Well, I see 1953. Swanson sold its first TV dinner.
Huh.
Yeah. So first.
Wonder how you cook that. I wonder if it's like the same way you cook it today.
No, I think you actually put them in the oven.
Yeah.
Because this was that was what 50. That was 51. When was the microwave invented? When was the microwave invented for home use? 1955.
So right
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was most likely made just in the oven or something. Like.
Yeah.
The original TV dinner was created and marketed in 1954. Swanson's TV dinners. And this even says, quote-unquote, TV dinner in 1953. So, this is before the TV dinner even became a TV. They're still in the beta phase.
Yeah.
But then 1955, as a video editor myself, and anyone out there watching this, if you have taken any classes in video editing, you know what I'm talking about. 1955, Gunsmoke premiered on CBS TV, starring James Arnes. And I was saying, apparently it's a common practice, at least out here in California, for video editors, going through classes and everything. You take a scene in Gunsmoke and you edit that scene. It's called the Gunsmoke edit. And
Interesting.
you can actually find a lot of videos on YouTube for people custom edits of this one particular scene in Gunsmoke, and there's a lot you can do with it. You can make it look real. You can get it funny. Like there's one where the guy allows the other guy to beat the woman, and he's just like, "Oh, you really are a marshal," I have an edit somewhere it's interesting.
So that's like when you're first starting out, they have you do that Gunsmoke edit?
Yeah, after you learn the basics, the basic commands, how to utilize, the program and everything, and then they actually give you, they give you various projects, do lighting, do shading, what's this angle, what's that angle, yada yada, and then, after you learn, all the rope-a-dopes and everything, then it's like, okay,
Yep.
Here's a scene, edit it, go. So, yeah. And then, of course, we do get our own projects and everything, stuff like that. Anyway, you were saying a year before? What year were you talking about?
Well, the 56 non-highlighted one, I don't know, it's first public school thing.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that too. I was actually going to go right there. 1956, public schools integrate in Louisville, Kentucky. And this sounds like it goes along with a couple of the past days we've been talking about, that one guy. Is this the same thing? The guy who called the National Guard and then told them to stand down?
I can't quite remember, but
yeah,
I don't know. Not
Let's see
entirely
here.
sure.
National Guard called segregated school. Let me see here. Oh, well, that's completely different. Okay. Which city did the National Guard? Oh, it's Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Well, this is somebody else. Orville Fabos? I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, segregation was such a thing for a while. There's so many articles about that. But that's good. They integrated. 1956. That is good.
Yep.
Anyway, your turn.
1960, Abebe Biklia of Ethiopia runs world record. I think that's 2 hours.
Yes.
or 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 16.2 seconds barefoot to take out the men's marathon at the Rome Olympics, Africa's first ever Olympic gold medal.
Nice.
Interesting.
And that guy did it barefoot. What a guy, dude.
He's probably like the, Usain Bolt before Usain Bolt type of thing. But
Yeah, well, Usain Bolt's all about speed. This guy's about endurance.
true.
So,
But imagine that just being the first one. Africa's very first. That's pretty cool. Like, you're going to be remembered for that forever.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah. That is
All
really
right.
cool.
1960 again. Future Hall of Famer Jerry Lucas scores 23 points in the U.S. as the USU wins the 5th straight men's basketball Olympic gold medal with a 90-63 drubbing of Brazil at the Rome Games.
Drubbing.
Yeah, which
Drubbing.
means they beat him. I haven't seen that word used, but they beat him pretty good.
Drubbing means a beating or a thrashing, a resounding defeat of a match or contest. Okay.
That sounds like such an old word.
Yeah, it does. 90-63. That is a bit of a drubbing right there. That's 3-2 though.
Well, I got a new word now.
Yeah.
Drubbing.
Yep. You have another one here.
Oh, wow, that's a 1960 here. Also
Yep.
1960. Gymnastics competition at the Rome Olympics concludes with the Soviet Union taking 10 of the 15 gold medals. Soviet gymnasts Boris Shaklin and Larissa Latinina win 3 gold medals each.
Nice.
Yep. Well, that's 1960 Olympic, I guess, stuff here.
Why don't you take this other 1960 here?
Sure. New York Yankee Mickey Mantle hits 643 third home run over right field roof in Detroit. Sorry, wow, I was reading that totally wrong. But I was reading just the D end. I'm still in my mind.
I'm just like, wait, am I seeing things? I thought it said Detroit.
Yeah.
Goddamn, man.
Oopsie. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I think I went cross-eyed. I don't know.
Got a little bit of a muffin syndrome right there.
Muffin syndrome.
Yes. Anyway, finally.
Banana nut muffin syndrome.
Yep. Well, you are a nut. You are a banana nut. Tell you that. So, 1961. Finally getting out of the 1960s, we have the 75th U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis at Forest Hills, New York. Defending champion Darlene Hard defeated England's Anne Jones 6-3, 6-4. Huh. I wonder if she was hard. Clearly she
hard
was.
to beat.
She won. Yeah. And then 1961, Mickey Mantle became the 7th to hit 400 home runs. Well, that's interesting. Didn't we talk about Mickey Mantle? Yeah, we did, like a second ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Then
So,
1961.
That was a, so look at that. He hit his 643rd, and then not too long later, he hit, what is that?
700.
His.
So 1960. Oh wait, home run number.
Wait, that
400.
doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Huh. Oh no. Okay. He hit the 643rd home run over right field.
Oh, you know what that
roof in
is?
Detroit.
Do you know that's a 643rd a foot home run?
Oh.
643 feet. So he hit a bomb. That is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was wondering about the apostrophe there. That's a measurement. Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad as well. I should have seen that.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have even, read that had I not read, that non-highlighted one, which I honestly only read because of you. But yeah,
I don't even know if that, how they measured that. I think they may have measured it since it went over the field, the roof, because that's like almost impossible to hit a ball that far. Like, if you look into MLB records and stuff, barely anybody's hit a 500-foot home run. Like, I don't even think there's only a few. And that's even in the steroid era. This guy was not doing steroids. So this is like, I think they measured that where the ball actually rolled to a stop.
Okay, well, this is weird because it says Babe Ruth is said. Well, let's see here. What is the farthest hit home run? 1987, Joey Meyer of the AAA Denver Zephyrs launched a moonshot into the second deck of Mile High Stadium. City of Denver engineer Jerry Tennyson was able to verify the distance at the home run at 582 feet.
Well, I can see that. I mean, that's pretty crazy, though. I mean, a 400-plus foot home run is pretty far. That's like, I mean, you could probably, I mean, that's insane how far that is.
Well, this is not making any sense because this guy, he hit a 643-foot home run over a right field roof in Detroit. So like,
yeah,
maybe,
like I said, since it went over the roof, I think they measured that where the ball actually rolled to a stop, not where it actually landed.
And I'm thinking that they're putting height into the calculation, not just distance. I'm not sure what they're doing, but it's saying here that the farthest home run, is 500s. Has anyone hit a 600-foot home run? No.
No, I told you. Yeah, so that's, like I said, I think that's where it rolled to a stop and then measured it, because that's like almost pretty physically impossible to hit a ball that far in the air. Yeah, that's odd. Yep.
Huh. We're gonna have to look more into that. That's interesting. 1961, the 75th. Actually, I already did that one. Let's see here. I did that one. 1961 as well. U.S. National Championship Men's Tennis, Forest Hills, New York. In an All-Australian final, Roy Emerson defeated Rod Laver 7-5, 6-3, 6-2. Emerson's second Grand Slam title.
Once again, don't know much about tennis, especially back then.
I don't know either. To me, it's just a bunch of back and forth,
A bunch of back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, but then again, whenever
the coolest thing about tennis is like trying to get it inside the lines, and they gotta judge it to see if it, is in or not. So that's pretty cool. And then, they do actually have to hit it. It's like, almost what is it? Ping pong. It's like a bigger form of that almost.
It is.
Ping pong's crazy too. So.
Yeah. Well, ping pong. What else is it called? Table tennis. So,
yeah.
Yep. But yeah, no. Somebody tried to get me into tennis, and I'm like, that just sounds like a bigger racket to me. So.
A tennis racket. Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't get a handle on the situation. So.
Yeah, and another tennis thing is like you have too many faults because if you fault, you hit it into the net, it's a fault. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's something you do gotta love. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, why don't you take?
See, we can talk about tennis. We can actually talk about tennis.
Yep. Yes, we can.
That's funny.
Anyway, I believe it's your turn in 1962 if you want.
Which one?
U.S. Men's Tennis Open, the last 1962 highlighted here.
All right. U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis, Forest Hills, New York. Australian Margaret Smith beats defending champion Darlene Hard again. 9-7, 6-4 for her first U.S. singles crown. So she defeated that other lady from the other article who won.
Oh, there's where you're reading. Okay, yeah. No, I was talking about. I was talking about the highlighted one above the one you just read. But anyway, 1963, the blue link. That's interesting.
1963, 20 black students enter public schools in Alabama.
Good.
Yep.
Well, 1963, the one right after what you just read. That's a really interesting way they worded that.
Yeah, the Phillies beat Houston Colt 45 16-0.
Well, I see Colt 45 is in 45 caliber. A Colt 45 is a gun.
Yeah.
So.
I guess that was their name.
Was it .45S? What's .45S?
No, that's because that would make sense. It's Colt 45s.
Well, no, I mean was that the actual name of their sports team?
Yeah, it used to it turned into the Houston Astros. I guess that they were that's used to be their name, which I never actually knew that.
That's interesting, and that is what's the word that we just learned?
Drubbing.
Yeah, that's a drubbing right there. 16-0.
Oh yeah.
That's a drubbing.
That is. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely kicked their butt.
Yeah. It looks like the Houston Colt 45s took a gun to a bat fight and lost.
No, no. Here we go.
Here we go.
That sets you up for some.
Yeah. Anyway, 63 if you want.
Sure, 1963, Stan Musial hits a home run and his first at bat as a grandfather.
Whoa.
Pretty
That's cool. Dang.
That was a pretty special day for him.
Yep. Moving on up into 1964, the Palestinian Liberation Army, the PLA, forms. I am a supporter of Palestine. Free Palestine. You know, Israel has really got to stop occupying all of their lands. Like, seriously. So, in 1964 as well, Rod Stewart recorded his first single, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl. That's creepy. So, yeah. Well, I mean, once again, we're looking at it through modern day eyes. You know, what was acceptable back
modern
then
day eyes.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I mean, look at that face saying, Good morning, little schoolgirl. Yikes.
Oh, gosh,
that's a major
dude.
yikes right there, dude. But then 1965, Great Britain performed nuclear test site at the Nevada test site. So, yeah, we allowed Great Britain to come and test some of their nukes on our land. That's really interesting.
They almost partially say that all those nuclear test sites down there are kind of creating weak points in the crust and they get earthquakes there.
Maybe. I mean, that certainly isn't helping. I mean, that's just, what, a couple hundred miles from, you know, the San Andreas and everything?
Yep.
Not that far.
Because it happens at oil pumping operations and wastewater plants that there's earthquakes and, where is it? I don't even remember the state, but...
You're talking about fracking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff going on in Pennsylvania. I know there's a Centralia in Pennsylvania that has an underground coal fire that's going to be burning for the next 500 years.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's where like the New Madrid fault, that whatever that was, I forget. That goes up into the northeast and stuff. So you really don't get any earthquakes up in the northeast area. It's pretty rare. Like I've never felt one, so
yeah.
It's really like West Coast and I don't know.
Well, there are fault lines, and micro faults and very deep faults and stuff, on the east and everything, and they do get earthquakes very rarely, but they do get earthquakes.
It usually follows like the North American craton. It's called. It's some type of like different levels of where the plates are in the U.S. and a lot of them kind of follow the North American craton.
Craton. I've never heard that word. What is a craton?
Look up if you want North American craton.
Let's see here. North American craton. Oh, here we go. Craton. Laurentia. Okay. Laurentia, or the North American craton, is a large continental craton that forms the ancient geological core of North America. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of quakes kind of follow patterns a lot in the North American craton sometimes.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, so it's like an old central area of the actual continent. So,
yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is interesting. I've never heard that word before. Craton.
Yep.
I've heard of croutons before.
Yeah. No, that's part of what I was learning with the earthquake study stuff.
That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, 1966, Muhammad Ali technically knocks out Carl Mildenberger in 12 for heavyweight boxing title. Yep.
All right.
And then before we move on and do Scott's turn here, I'm going to do the split.
We are at an hour.
Yeah. I like to do the split, 5 some odd minutes before actually we hit the hour, so that way I can upload it onto BitChute, because they have a cutoff like at an hour. You can't upload anything longer than an hour, so I like to stay just under that a little bit. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, 66 as well, Mr. Scott.
1966, Neil Diamond has his first Billboard chart success with single Cherry Cherry.
Ooh. Cherry Cherry. I'd like a cherry cola right now, actually. That sounds pretty refreshing.
Cherry cola, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, 365 days later.
1967. U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis. Forest Hills, New York. Billie Jean King defeats England's Anne Hayden Jones 11-9, 6-4 for the first of 4 U.S. singles crowns. Well, they must have did a tie break there or something. 11-9.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, you know, yeah, I guess that would make sense if they have a tie, you know, or something.
Yeah.
Then you extend it by a whole nother set. I don't know. But like,
Right.
you know, like as
Possible.
I said yesterday, like this isn't 11-9 points. These are 11-9 games. So she won 11 games out of 18, or no, 11 games out of 20. So
Yep.
that's a lot of games, dude. That's a lot of playing, man.
Oh yeah. Tennis can go some good hours. There's been some matches that have gone many hours. So.
Well, I think the longest game of tennis was like what, 12 hours or something.
Yep.
Longest game of tennis. 11 hours and 5 minutes. That's
insane.
That's a lot of time on the court, man. You know.
I am wondering, just because I watched this on television, like the Novak Djokovic versus Rafael Nadal match. Because you can look it up if you want, but I'm pretty sure that was like 4, 5, 6 hours or something. I don't know. Crazy.
What are the names again?
We actually read about this recently too. Well, if you could try to spell it, but Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, long tennis match or something like that.
Novak Djokovic match. What was the second guy?
Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, like, wasn't that the one that went on to like 3 o'clock in the morning, or something?
Yeah, or I can't. I mean, that's why I'm trying to recap on it because I'm not sure.
Well, it says here it lasted for 5 hours and 53 minutes, the longest Grand Slam final of all time.
Yeah, I was watching that. It was insane. It really was. I remember watching that. It was just like never ending. 5 hours, like.
Jeez. Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, and it was a final, right? So, pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, we have 72, and like everything in between it is all just sports crap. It looks like, except we have a TV thing there. British soldiers being killed by a landmine, over there if you want. But like, most of all is sports.
Yeah, I see. That's just a hockey one. I don't know. Let's see.
Or
yeah, this is all just.
Yeah. Well, let's jump up into 72 here.
I was gonna do that 72 and then maybe 78. Okay, right. 72.
Yeah.
Which one?
The highlighted one.
Okay, 72. 3 British soldiers are killed in a landmine attack near Dungannon, County Tyrone. Yeah.
Huh. I guess that's during the Troubles, because County Tyrone, that sounds British. And this is 72, so this has to be, something involving the IRA, or the PIRA or something, I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. Alright.
Dos mas senores. God, why does this guy here look like the Afro Samurai?
Which guy?
In the highlighted 1972, the U.S. Men's Tennis Open.
God.
This guy on the right, he looks like kind of like an Afro Samurai right there.
Oh yeah, that's a weird pose. Arthur Ashe, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
Arthur Ashe was good.
Sorry, go ahead. You there?
Okay. Yep. Sorry, okay. I was just okay. So, I just saw like 'cause these are all like basically sports.
Yeah.
Sports are just random music, which I don't know. I was just gonna do 78, the highlighted one under, because there's just so many tennis ones. But
yeah.
78, Timbuktu closes at Mark Hellinger Theater, New York City, after 243 performances. I recognize that. So.
Ah.
Timbuktu.
Timbuktu.
I've heard that phrase used in something like. I don't remember, but I've heard.
Yeah, no, Timbuktu, is just like, they're all the way out in Timbuktu or something like it's.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I thought.
It's supposed to be like,
right.
Or BFE, or Albuquerque, or whatever. It's like one of those city things that just formed into popular culture sayings and such.
Yep.
So, yep. Anyway, 1978, the single-point American Lotus driver Mario Andretti earned for finishing sixth at the Italian Grand Prix at Monza is enough to clinch his first Formula One World Drivers Championship. Nice.
And then I don't know his related, Marco Andretti. He was also good. He's related to this guy.
Well, let's see here. Mario. Let me just look. Mario Andretti. Let me just Google him here. Mario Andretti. It's not telling me siblings. Hold on a second. Siblings. Aldo Andretti. Yeah, Aldo Andretti. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Well, I think it was Marco Andretti, but...
Marco.
Yep.
Mario Andretti, Marco Andretti. Is Marco Andretti related to Mario? Marco's paternal grandfather is Italian-U.S. citizen Mario Andretti, a highly successful racing driver who raced professionally for 4 decades. So are you talking about like in siblings or like later on down the line?
Yeah, it's later on down the line. Like he's
Okay.
more recent.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
so, like,
sense. Yeah. So
he followed in his footsteps, and he, like even his family of Mario Andretti was good. So.
Yeah. So I believe the answer to your question is yes, because is Marco Andretti related to Mario? Marco's paternal grandfather is Italian, U.S. Mario Andretti. So his grandfather is that, yes. Bloodline. Yep. So not just through family, but literal blood. He is related. Yep. Yes. Good call.
Cool.
1978 as well, U.S. Open Men's Tennis, Flushing Meadows, New York. Jimmy Connors defeated Bjorn Borg 6-4, 6-2, 6-2 to become the first player to win the U.S. Open on 3 different surfaces. Wow.
These guys like set examples for tennis going forward because there's Bjorn Borg, Arthur Ashe, all these guys are like some of the original, guys in the 70s here. They set quite a bit of records. They were very popular.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, Bjorn Borg was just a titan,
Yep.
So, but then in 1979, 3 Puerto Rican nationalists who attempted to kill Truman were freed. I don't know, man. I think assassination attempts on a sitting, president or any other head of state should be met with execution.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Or at the very least, long imprisonment.
I don't know, unless they try to yell at him to death or something, because how do you get freed for that?
Well, conspirators and stuff like that. And, and, like, when was Harry Truman? When was his presidency? Like, when did Harry Truman serve? So 45 through 53. So this is like, that's 20 years later. So I guess they served their time. They didn't actually kill the guy. So so that makes sense. They were freed 20 years later. So they got 20 years, sounds like.
Oh, so they were freed after that. That would be nice if they put that actually in the listing, that they were freed after serving a sentence, but... Yeah,
well, I mean, like,
or what the sentence was.
If they hadn't served something, how would they be freed? So...
Well, then, yeah, that answers my question, yeah.
But we don't have the specifics. That's the problem, Yep.
Yep.
And
I don't know, it puts time into looking it up.
Yeah, I would look it up.
It puts time, I'm just saying, if it's there, then we could look it up and kind of elaborate on it further. I guess it's all right.
Yeah, well, that falls to the source. They need to research this. They're not on a time schedule. They got to do some background research, add more meat to these bones,
Yeah.
Then, let's see here. 1982, Decca released the Beatles' audition on Complete Silver Beatles album 20 years after label executives rejected them, feeling that guitar groups are on the way out and the Beatles have no future in show business. How wrong they were. Wow.
Damn.
You can't predict trends, dude. You just cannot predict trends. There is no algorithm for human nature. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's no algorithm for human trends.
Yet. Although I think there actually is, and I think the human trends is now following in the algorithms. I think that's the point. That's the switch they were talking about, not just in the dead internet theory, but like what a lot of people refer to as the the singularity. When we become more dependent on machines than they do to live, because they still need us to exist, but without them we wouldn't either. So
yeah.
I think the singularity has long ago since come and passed, and we are now living in a machine world. So
Pretty much.
yeah. Anyway, if you want to take this 1983, it is your turn.
U.S. Open Women's Tennis. Martina Navratilova beats Chris Everett Lloyd 6-1 and 6-3 for her first U.S. singles title. There's so much tennis in today's thing.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, and I thought Wimbledon was getting annoying. Now it's just But you missed one. Larry Holmes here.
Oh. Larry Holmes. Hold on.
Just above what you read.
I was thinking about it. Oh, yeah. Larry Holmes, technical knockouts, Scott Frank in 5 for heavyweight boxing title. Larry Holmes was really good, actually.
Yeah.
Because this is like right before Mike Tyson came into the picture. And I'm pretty sure they fought.
Mike Tyson and Larry Holmes?
Possibly. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. It's possible, though.
You are right. There was a fight. January 22nd, 1988.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's where I kind of recognize that from.
1984, the non-highlighted one. That's interesting. So, if you want that.
Sure. Discovery returns to Kennedy Space Center via Altus AFB, Oklahoma.
Ah, that's cool.
I don't know if
the
that's
space station or the space
is that
shuttle.
Air Force Base or what? I mean, what is that AFB? Probably not.
That makes sense. Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. That makes sense. Let me look this up. Yeah, you're right. Altus Air Force Base. Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, NASA is a branch of the U.S. government, the armed forces. Specifically the Air Force.
Cool.
And like they that sounds like they put the shuttle on that giant plane. Like you've seen that, the plane with the shuttle on its back. So
yeah.
It sounds like they did that. It returned to the Kennedy Space Station, Space Center via that Air Force Base in Oklahoma. So they shipped it. So yeah.
I'm ready for 1984 here, but
all right.
Next one. Okay, first episode of daily syndicated version of Jeopardy with Alex Trebek as host.
Good old Keebert Zella. Yep.
Had to do that. Anyway. More tennis? Oh wait, let's see what's in between.
I was looking, I'm not seeing anything interesting really. I mean, like 1988, the blue one, the
oh
first
my
one.
gosh,
That's
so much tennis, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Could have just done a whole show on tennis today.
Yeah.
So many. Let's see. More sports. I don't know if you see any, let me know, but
Well, let's just keep it going. Let's just do 1988 then, the highlighted one if you want, or you can skip it. You're free to skip if you want. I just read them just because they're there.
More tennis, fine. U.S. Open Women's Tennis. Steffi Graf of Germany wins her first U.S. title and completes the Grand Slam. Beats Gabriela Sabatini 6-3, 3-6, and 6-1. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's get you out of tennis and take 89 here just to give you a little bit of a of a taste difference, so to speak.
Yeah. So the oh wow, this is pretty cool. Yeah, Deion Sanders, the guy who played football and baseball. He actually got in trouble because I think he had a baseball game and a football game on the same day or something. I remember him getting in trouble for that or something.
Oh wow. Yeah, that would make sense.
But 1989, 5 days after hitting a home run for Yankees in a 12-2 win over the Mariners, MLB and NFL player Deion Sanders returns a punt 68 yards for a touchdown, his first. Nice. So he was fast, yeah.
Yeah. It is really cool. Let's see here. 1989 U.S. Open men's tennis. Boris Becker of Germany won his only U.S. title, defeating Czech Ivan Lendl 7-6, 1-6, 6-3, 7-6. You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that whoever's in charge of this source is an avid tennis freak, and it's just, you know, because every single day for the past 4 months now, like 30% of everything has been tennis. It's nuts. Like, this is getting ridiculous.
Yep.
You know?
I said that. I was scrolling down. It is all tennis, so.
It's ridiculous. So, but then 1990, Basilica of Our Lady of Peace, consecrated by Pope John Paul II in Yamoussoukro, Côte d'Ivoire, as the largest church in the world at 30,000 square meters or 320,000 square feet. That is a big church.
That was like Côte d'Ivoire.
D'Ivoire.
Something like
I don't
that.
know.
Like
I don't speak Chicois, so.
You don't speak Chicois.
Yep. 1990
right.
as well. Ellis Island reopened as a museum. So that used to be all of the immigration, you know, services. People coming
that
in.
Ellis Island. Yeah.
Ellis Island, you know, in the Hudson Bay.
Yep.
Which I think technically belongs to New Jersey. I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's a whole war going on between New York and New Jersey. Who owns what?
This next one's actually interesting too.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm seeing 1991. I'm just like, ooh, it's Nirvana.
Well, I was gonna go 1990 as well. Hard Rock Cafe opened in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been there. So.
Yeah, that's probably that's like the real Hard Rock Cafe. They have those in like, you know, casinos and stuff. There's always like a Hard Rock Cafe somewhere.
I don't exactly remember what happened to Hard Rock Cafe. I don't know if they went into debt or they went into bankruptcy or something, but like something happened. I knew back at the time, but I don't remember today. But the Hard Rock Cafe, Hotel, and Casino doesn't exist in Vegas anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something else now. I think they kept the guitar though. I'm not sure. But here, why don't you take 91 here?
Yeah, because this is Nirvana one is cool. So for me, you know, just. I think, I don't know if I'm Generation X or what, but I forget. I think it might be, I don't know,
You're a millennial technically. Like, I think I'm Generation X. I don't know. No, Generation Z. There's Generation X, Y, and Z. And then there's like millennials, and then, yeah. I don't know. Actually, hold on a second. What generation?
Yeah, if you look it up, you can tell. I thought, I don't remember. I don't remember.
You're Y.
Generation Y?
Yeah.
Yeah, millennials are like 2000 and up, probably.
And I'm Generation X.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it's like right on the cusp right there, like me and you.
Yeah. Well, they're still saying millennials born between 1977 and 1997. So between 77 and 97, we're apparently millennials, even though that we're before the millennium, however that works.
Uh-huh.
Then there's Generation 2020, born after 97. How the fuck? Like, okay, somebody's on acid or something, because like, how can you say somebody born in 1997 is part of Generation 2020? Like, no.
Someone's on acid.
I mean, I guess if they're like, you know, classifying based off of when they'll be adults, yes, that makes sense. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, what happened in 1991, Mr. Scott?
Okay, rock band Nirvana released their single, Smells Like Teen Spirit, often dubbed the anthem of Generation X. Sounds like the secret ingredient to Powerpuff Girls or something.
Oh my god. Chemical X, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Chemical X, yeah. I knew that was like, I'm getting memories from that. But anyway, that's funny. Yeah.
Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. You know?
Yeah, remember that show. Yep. Anyway, also 1991, U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee begins hearings on Clarence Thomas's nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court. Oh, this guy. This happened. He was mentioned recently with other things that I don't think I can mention.
What?
Clarence Thomas, he's been in the news like recently, I think, about something else that's going on.
Yeah, wasn't he the one, Clarence Thomas, wasn't he the sitting Supreme Court justice who somebody tried to assassinate at his home?
That could be part of it too, but
I
I'm
think
pretty
it
sure.
is.
I don't know. I don't know, but
Well, no, like this was part. I think part of the whole Roe versus Wade controversy thing that happened.
that's what I was saying. Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that they tried to get him at his house, but he was the sitting Supreme Court judge for that part of that.
Well,
in the news for that.
Why don't you take this 1992 here, because inflation affects us all, even in the fictional world.
Oh. That's when I was born, too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
1992. Lucy in Peanuts Comics raises her psychiatric help from 5 cents to 47 cents. Damn, that is like 100% increase.
100% is 5 to 10, so this is like... Hold on a second. 47...
Well, because it's almost... I was thinking of the 5 to 50.
Huh. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong. I don't know.
It's like literally a decimal point bigger.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I'm no mathematician, so yeah.
Mathematician.
Well, 93 is interesting. Both of them, actually, if you want those.
The X-Files, yeah. Created by Chris Carter, starring David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. Debuts on Fox. Do 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 do. Yeah.
I love how we both did that together. We had a moment right there, you and I. You know.
We did.
Okay.
Then 93, 1,000 Boeing 747 jumbo plane produced. Jumbo plane produced.
The 1,000th, yeah.
Oh.
Dang. Could you imagine, like, okay, let's see here. At any given time, how many aircraft are in the air? Something crazy. There was an average of 9,728 planes carrying 1,270,406 passengers in the sky at any given time.
Wow.
So, over 1.25 million people are just up in the air, aloft. At any
That's
given
why
time.
you need a whatchamacallit, somebody on the ground, or you're gonna have planes crashing into each other.
Ground control, ATC,
right.
Air traffic control.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, you have one more. Tennis. We can't escape. Oh my god.
Tennis. Tennis is becoming like the oval.
The oval. No, tennis. They operate in the rectangle.
There you go. The rectangle.
Yes.
1995 U.S. Open Men's Tennis. Pete Sampras wins his third U.S. title. Beats fellow American Andre Agassi 6-4, 6-3, 4-6, and 7-5.
Dang. Well, 1997, Discovery bought Travel Channel for $20 million. Dang.
Interesting.
97.
I don't know what they're doing nowadays. Because I think there is a Travel Channel now. I could be wrong though. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Is Travel Channel still here? Travel Channel. Alright. Fingers. Travel Channel. Television channel. It's still, TRVL channel. It's still going on.
I'm pretty sure yeah. So it just like, Discovery, like, what is it, like subsidized it or just brought, I don't know, that's weird.
Well, it is currently owned by 3 parent organizations: Cox Communications, Warner Brothers Discovery, so there's Discovery, and then Scripps Network Interactive. Sister networks: Food Network, HGTV, CNN, Animal Planet, and more. So,
yep.
CNN. Bleh. Gross.
Yeah.
Vomit. Then 1998, we have the 15th MTV Video Music Awards. Madonna and Will Smith won. Alright.
Yep.
And,
Fight Club's a good one.
You know what? Would we be breaking the rule of Fight Club if we talked about this? Like, would they want us to talk about this because it praises their work, or is this against their wishes? Because rule 1 of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, and we're about to talk Fight Club. We're going to break the rule. Fuck it. Fuck it. If they want to fight me, I have a machete. So. God.
Whose turn? Mine?
Yeah, just take it. Start your turn again. I don't remember whose turn it was. So
Oh, great. Now they're going to be coming for me. Why don't you read it? No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Why do you think I'm pawning it off on you, man? It's called dodging responsibility.
1999 Fight Club. Save me. Film based on the novel by Chuck Palahniuk, directed by David Fincher, and starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, premieres at the Venice Film Festival.
Any and all Fight Club hate mail, please send to www.wedontgiveafuck.com/leaveusthefuckalone.org. So, yeah, leave us alone. We're like, Fight Club shit.
Imagine if you're giving that email out, they ask you. You're like, yep, that's my email.
Oh, wow. So this guy here, this guy in the picture here, he was Tony Soprano from The Sopranos.
Yep. He was.
Yeah.
2052nd Emmy Awards, The West Wing, Will and Grace, James Gandolfini, and Stella Ward win.
Cool.
Hello.
Yeah, it's too bad this guy passed away. Like, he was a really good actor. So,
Yep.
apparently he was his teddy bear. So. And you have another interesting one here.
2000, Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Cats closes on at Winter Garden Theater in New York City after 7,485 performances, won 7 Tony Awards, 3 Drama Desk Awards, and a Grammy Award.
That's really good.
Everything but a Golden Lion.
Yeah, a Golden Llama?
Golden Lion. The Golden Llama, alright.
The Golden Llama. Actually, is that even a thing? Golden Llama.
I don't know, maybe if you electroplate one.
Well, there is a Golden Llama Peruvian restaurant, where it's located in North Hills, South Carolina. Interesting. So there is a Golden Llama, but it's a restaurant. Yeah. But we should start an awards ceremony, the Golden Llama,
Why not?
And there's a little mechanism in there, you push a button, it spits,
Yeah.
Make it interactive,
Golden Llama and Golden Giraffe. I don't know.
The Golden Giraffe. Dude, we have a couple of those, actually. Actually, they're not gold. I think they're brass, but I guess we can plate them. Mom loved giraffes and chickens, so we have, giraffe and chicken stuff all over the house. I've shown
you...
you...
yeah, I remember these, I remember
I've shown you with the stairs, that one thing with some of the giraffes, they have, some of the G.I. Joe helmets on them,
Yep.
Yeah. And then one of them is a camel. Find the imposter. 2001, Indian actor Amitabh Bachchan was awarded Actor of the Century at the Alexandria Film Festival. Huh. Well, that's a prestigious award right there. 2002, Switzerland, traditionally a neutral country, joined the United Nations. So on the same date that China and the Free Ireland, joined, or the Irish Free State joined the League of Nations. Many years later, Switzerland, joined the UN. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
In 2004, Crash, directed by Paul Haggis and starring Don Cheadle and Sandra Bullock, premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, later to receive the Best Picture of 2006. Don Cheadle, why does that name sound so familiar? Oh, the black guy. Okay, yeah, that's right. He was the guy who played was he the guy in the first set of Iron Mans, or who came in later? He's that skinny black guy, right? He played Captain Planet in that one web series.
Let's see.
Don Cheadle, yeah.
Let me look.
Because I know he played War Machine or whatever.
So you pretty much know.
Yeah. Well, I knew that I don't know because I knew in the first and then maybe the second one, it was there was this one black actor, and then they replaced him with Don Cheadle, or maybe it was Don Cheadle at first. I don't know. But it was either in the second or the third Iron Man they replaced that character with another black guy.
Oh, I recognize his face now.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's in a lot of things. He was actually he was Algorithm. He was the bad guy, the antagonist in the new Space Jam movie, which thankfully I never saw. You know, starring LeBron James, that China ass kisser. You know.
So let's see. He's been acting since the 80s.
He was born in. He's 57 years old. Wow. That explains why he looks the way he does. I thought he was younger.
So, Iron Man 2, Flight, Iron Man 3,
Okay.
Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, Captain Marvel. He's in a lot of superhero movies.
Okay, so I was right. So in the original Iron Man, Rhodey is the character, by the way. Rhodey was played by a different guy, and then in the second one they brought in Don Cheadle for whatever reason. I guess the original actor, like, he wasn't getting along for one reason or another. I don't know, with Disney. But yeah. Anyway, 2005. Oh man. You know
The
what?
next two are both tennis.
Yeah, let me eat these tennis ones, and then I'll give you the rest of the show. Maybe no, we have quite a bit actually. So I'll eat these two tennis ones for you. So in 2005, 125th U.S. Open Women's Tennis, Belgian Kim Clijsters won her first of 4 Grand Slam titles, defeating Mary Pierce of France 6-3, 6-1. Then 2006 U.S. Open Men's Tennis, Roger Federer won his 3rd straight U.S. title, defeating home favorite Andy Roddick 6-2, 4-6, 7-5, 6-1. Oh, it's this guy again. Is super excited to see that tennis ball. And look at that,
And
dude.
favorite is spelled in the UK way.
What?
Favorite.
Favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why there's so many historical inaccuracies. This was written by a Brit. You know?
Yep. Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, 2007.
Coup d'etat. Former Prime Minister of Pakistan Nawaz Sharif returns to Pakistan after 7 years in exile following a military coup in October 1999.
Dang. So he wasn't killed, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2008. Yeah.
The Large Hadron Collider at CERN, described as the biggest scientific experiment in the history of mankind, is powered up in Geneva, Switzerland.
Yeah.
The God particle.
Yep. They either have or they're on the way to discovering it. You know, the black hole machine, all that stuff. There's all this stuff involving, like, why is there a statue of Vishnu, the Indian goddess of destruction, you know, outside of that facility? You know, that's a little worrisome. Yeah. Like, there is something that happened not too long ago. It may be real, it may be fake, but there's some picture of some people doing some kind of occult practice with like a pentagram on the ground or something in front of the facility by that statue itself. I don't know. But yeah, no, like, you know, that collider, that thing under the ground, like, goes under 3 different countries. It is massive.
Yep.
You know?
Pretty expensive to build, probably, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see here. How expensive, how much did it take to build CERN? Around $4.75 billion.
Damn.
Good Lord. It took a decade to build, and most of the money came from European countries like Germany, the UK, France, and Spain. Dang.
So it was an effort by a few countries.
Oh, it's a multinational, cooperation thing, definitely. I mean, you know, the fact that it occupies land underneath other nations, you know, means that, you know, you can't just build underneath another country without asking them, you know, because that's not cool, you know. You wouldn't want your neighbor to start building his basement underneath your house. You know, that's your house. So unless you gave him permission, you know.
True.
So, and once again, more tennis. You can skip it if you want, but you have one more. You can just go skip on up to 2012 if you want.
Get into some Afghanistan battle stuff.
Yep.
Okay, 16 people are killed by a suicide bombing in Kunduz, Afghanistan. Kunduz, whatever.
Kunduz.
Yeah,
Yeah. We're not Afghani. We can't be expected to properly pronounce these things, you know.
And that would take too much time to look up pronunciation, so.
Yeah. Well, dang, all of the 2012s are interesting.
Yeah, you can read them. So also 2012, 16 people are killed by, 29 people are killed by floods and heavy rain in Vietnam.
Dang. Yep.
Also, a leftover bazooka grenade in Cambodia explodes and kills 3 children. Dang, how did that happen? It's insane. Bazooka grenade.
Cambodia. That sounds like leftover from the Vietnam War. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like the Viet Cong, you know, they like because bazookas, you know, well I think that was when we first had the fire and forget. So you know they just left the tubes, and then the Viet Cong, you know, they found the tubes, and then they put grenades in there. Like there's a whole lot of like grenade traps and stuff that they had. So like maybe somebody saw like and they moved it, and the grenade came out. The pin was gone. The lever popped open because it came out of the tube, and it blew up. You know. Like to this day, there's still children who are horribly maimed and disfigured and even killed by leftover landmines from that war. Yeah, like actually hold on. How many landmines are left over? So let's see here. The majority of the countries remaining outside the treaty keep stockpiles that collectively total around 50 million landmines. Well, that's stockpiles, though. So, how many unexploded landmines are in the world? 100 million unexploded landmines. The United Nations estimates that there are currently as many as 100 million unexploded landmines, with an equal number stockpiled around the world waiting to be planted. Mines are designed to be difficult to locate, and their clearance is costly. Children in at least 80 countries are at risk due to ERW, which, whatever that is. What is ERW? It's about 100 million landmines, dude. That's insane. Well, electric resistance welding. Okay, well that's not right. Landmines. ERW landmine, okay. Explosive remnants of war. Okay, there we go. That's what ERW is. Explosive remnants of war. So, just out there in the world, there's 100 million landmines scattered here and there, just waiting to be stepped on. That's frightening.
Well, hopefully they are not active after a long time, but who knows?
Well, I mean, like in the United Kingdom, on the River Thames itself, there's a large section, like in the center of London, of a cargo ship that, for one reason or another, it sank, carrying like I don't know how many tons of explosives, and it's still there. They can't disturb it because if they disturb it, they might set something off, but eventually it's going to go off. So you have something like with almost the equivalent of like the Hiroshima bomb, the nuclear bomb itself. The destructive capabilities of that vessel exploding can wipe London off the map, and it's just sitting there. It's really insane. So.
All right.
But then,
where are we at here?
2012, teachers in Chicago strike affecting 350,000 students. So wow, that's a lot of students.
Wow, indeed.
Yeah. 2012 as well, U.S. Open men's tennis. Andy Murray of Scotland won his first Grand Slam event, defeating defending champion Novak Djokovic 7-6, 7-5, 2-6, 3-6, 6-2. Dang. And then 2013, 16 people were killed after a series of bomb attacks across Iraq. Dang. We can't read every single one of them. These are interesting. Like we have this helicopter thing here. If you want.
Do this 2015 one.
Yeah, do it.
That's pretty.
Your turn.
2015 new human-like species, Homo naledi. Naledi, announced by scientists and a team of female archaeologists found deep in caves in South Africa.
That is
human-like, so that means bipedal, I'd assume.
Human-like, Homo naledi. Well, Homo means same,
Yeah.
Homo sapiens, homosexuals, whatever. Let's see here. It was discovered. Homo naledi is a species of archaic human discovered in 2013 in the Rising Star Cave, cradle of humankind, South Africa, dating to the Middle Pleistocene I don't know how to.
Pleistocene?
Yeah, that one. 335,000 to 236,000 years ago. The initial discovery comprised of 1,550 specimens representing 737 different elements and at least 15 different individuals. I'm going to definitely put this link in the underbar here. As soon as I find the underbar, there it is. Okay. Anyway, you have a couple more here.
Tennis?
I was thinking about the one above the one that you just read, because that's pretty interesting too.
Also, 2015, floods and landslides in northeast Japan centered on Hoso forced 90,000 to evacuate their homes.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yep.
And you can either take this other 2015 or take this tennis or just skip them all entirely, whatever. Your turn.
Well, there's still tennis ones going. We'll have to read at least one or two of these next tennis ones. Let's see. I don't know. I'll just do the 2016 one, I suppose.
Or well,
U.S. Open women's tennis.
You can skip that if you want. 2017, the unhighlighted one, in between these two ones. That's really interesting.
2017 artist Marta Minuhin. How do you say that?
Minusian? I don't know.
Minusian, there you go. Marta Minusian begins redistributing books from her art installation Parthenon of banned books honoring books burnt by Nazis in Kassel, Germany. Wow, that is interesting.
That is really cool. And we have Hurricane Irma.
Honoring books burnt. How do you honor books burnt if you don't know what the books were because they're burned?
Well, maybe they were. Maybe they did know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Well, they're honoring the books. Yeah, that's lost forever, of course. Mm-hmm. So it sucks.
Yep. 2017, Hurricane Irma made landfall in the Florida Keys in the U.S. as a Category 3 hurricane. So,
have you seen Mikey recently? Because I haven't seen him.
I have not. He's been gone for a while. I'm wondering if he's okay. I'm hoping I didn't piss him off in any way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. He really did just disappear all of a sudden after he was having so much fun. So I don't know.
Maybe he just got super busy with work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He didn't even I don't know. We could talk about this later, but.
Actually, I've been meaning
I don't know. Because every time I see Hurricane Irma, I think, oh yeah, he was, he was in that full force. Mikey was. So.
Yeah, he was. Well. Yeah, and this is the one that lifted him off of speed on the balcony, right? Irma?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
And this is when it made landfall.
185 mile per hour winds.
Yeah. Oof. So we're actually approaching the anniversary of that event, if he remembers the exact date in which it happens, but... Well, in 2017 as well, U.S. Open men's tennis, Spain's Rafael Nadal won his third U.S. title, defeating Kevin Anderson of South Africa 6-3, 6-3, 6-4. So... And then 2018, another somewhat tennis-related thing, Australian newspaper The Herald Sun criticized for racist cartoon of U.S. tennis star Serena Williams.
Well, that's not a good look.
I gotta look at this. Let's see here. Oh my God, I remember this.
Wait, now I have to. Did you put it on your screen?
I have it on my stream right now. Yes. Holy crap. Wow.
Hold on.
I don't know why anybody would accuse that of being racist unless they want to accentuate the fact that she's black. I'm just looking at this as a human being who can't understand the concept of losing. But that's it. Well, I guess it's racist because of look at her lips. They gave her the big old lips. So that's I can get that. Okay. But other than that, I mean, you're really grasping at straws here to call that racist,
Yeah, it's well, what are they? They're thinking it's racist just because of racist stereotypes. I don't know.
I mean, the message of that is not to land-base her for her being black. It's to land-base her for her being a sore loser. Because you see on the ground over there the little biddle, the little baby sucker right there. So they're calling her a baby essentially. Yeah,
I think I actually remember this, yeah.
I remember this too. Anyway, I'm gonna take this other 2018, and then it'll be your turn if it's cool.
Yep.
2018, California passed a law to commit to carbon-free electricity sources by 2045. Yeah, I share your sentiment. All I have to do is say California, and you just sigh. Like, what this time? God damn it! Like,
Yeah.
which did you see what I posted in news earlier today? The news channel on Discord.
What was it? I don't know if it was the Fox News one or not. But
Well, the Fox News one did cover this as well. But so this happened like a day or so ago. Like, this is recent. This is like actually the past 48, 72 hours, something like that. So a Hispanic guy, like in broad daylight, this was just on the street, okay? And he just walks up to this white lady and cuts her head off with a sword.
well, really,
Yeah.
damn, that must have been a sharp sword.
I mean, that's what swords are meant to do, is, kill people. And I mean, but like, like there's no known motivation. Like, maybe this is, something. Well, no, like, like the liberals they're probably going to go around and, because I saw this on Salty Cracker, and they're probably going to go around and accuse this of being, this, that, and the other, and stuff. But like, somebody died. Somebody got in Silicon Valley in California, is south of San Francisco. This guy walked up to this woman, and she was a mother. Her 2 kids were with her, and they saw this. Just decapitated this lady, just in broad daylight in
Well,
public.
that's gonna scar you for life.
Yes. It's just crazy.
Yep.
So, anyway, it's your turn now. Let's see here.
Okay. 2018.
20. Yeah. The South Carolina one. That's interesting, right there.
South Carolina issues mandatory evacuation order affecting 1 million people ahead of Hurricane Florence.
Yep. Well, speaking of hurricanes, we kind of got like a little bit of residual, hurricane radiation, for lack of a better term. There's a hurricane out here in the Pacific Ocean, came up, on the west coast of Mexico, and then like the sky went dark, and we got hit with some not a lot of rain. It came down like I don't know, globule piss, for lack of a better term. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only way I could say. Like, it wasn't rain. It was just like bloop, bloop, like, every now and then we have some fat drops, but that's about it. The skies were definitely way overcast. So, and it was hot as hell too. So, like, dude, imagine like, being in the rain and it's still 100 degrees. That's wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Hot rain.
I feel like there'd be like steam coming off the ground from that.
Sometimes it does. If it's hot enough, I've seen it. So, anyway, continue on, good sir. Oh, you muted. So, well then I'll take this. 2018, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for urgent climate change conference, saying, quote, "Climate change moving faster than we are," end quote. Bunch of BS right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's too subjective.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I'm thinking of is like, everybody's going around like, oh, if I spend more in taxes, the government will get rid of climate change. And so I'm thinking maybe there's some truth to that, because I've talked, if anybody knows about, about HARP, the high atmospheric, yada yada, whatever, like the, the
HAARP, yeah.
Yeah, that one. I mean, like, think about this. Like, back in the 70s during the Vietnam War, we did things involving cloud seeding. Now, we haven't done extensive studies and everything and, confirmed, because it could have just so happened to be, naturally caused. But during cloud seeding, the monsoon season of that time did extend by like another, 4, 6, 8 months or something, I don't know. In order to like waterlog and make travel impossible along, the Ho Chi Minh Trail, to make it harder for, the VC and the NVA to put up any form of logistical fight. We just turned the ground into mud. You can't move carts in mud. So there's that.
Yep.
But that's 1970s. That was like 50 some odd years ago. Okay? Like, what do we have now? Like, taking into consideration that lithium-ion batteries were used in World War II and they weren't really released until the public until like the late 90s, early 2000s. What do we have now? As far as like the government, maybe we can manipulate the weather. Maybe there is like, a G.I. Joe Cobra terrorist organization, weather control device. I don't know. But
Wouldn't be easy.
it's a little weird how, you know, how like maybe you know, if we do give them money, like, you know, maybe they are holding the world hostage. You know, give us money and we'll turn the weather back into normal. You know, maybe we really are living in a situation like that. I don't know, but just everything just seems weird. You know, so.
Yep.
But anyway,
It does. I don't know. We'll have to see, but.
take us into 2019 here.
Alibaba chairman Jack Ma steps down, succeeded by Daniel Zhang.
Alibaba entrepreneur. Alibaba, I think, is like a. Oh no, it's a Chinese tech company. I think. What is Alibaba? What is Alibaba? Alibaba Group Holding Limited, also known as Alibaba, is a Chinese multinational technology company specialized blah blah blah. Is a Chinese multinational technology company specializing in e-commerce, retail, internet, and technology. I knew it was Chinese. I've heard about this before. Like I remember on China Uncovered, China Uncensored, and everything. You know, with Chris Chappell and Linda Ho or whatever her name is, Megan Ho. I don't know. Like, you know, they've spoken about Alibaba, you know, every now and then. So, yep. Anyway, moving on into 2019 as well. Bolivian wildfires have destroyed 2 million hectares, almost 5 million acres of forest and grassland since August, according to College of Biologists in Las Paz. So since August. So in just a month, in 2019, almost 5 million acres burnt. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Then 2019, Iranian woman Sahar Khodiari died after setting herself on fire during her trial for enduring a stadium disguised as a man in Tehran. Or no, for entering a stadium disguised as a man in Tehran. So wow, so because she entered a stadium disguised as a man, because like they have segregation, you know, like even at weddings, like, you know, they have the men's side and the women's side, you know, and there's a partition and all that stuff. Like, you know, they're very divided culturally, and she ended up setting herself on fire. Like, it probably is one of those, like, you know, the monk protests, you know, the Buddhist people back in like the Vietnam whole thing. You know, we've seen those videos of those, you know, those monks setting themselves on fire, just sitting there, you know, in protest. Or like the same thing with the Chinese when they went after the Tibetans and all that stuff. You know, that happened there. So, let's see, 2019, Malaysia's National Disaster Management Agency delivered 500,000 face masks to Sarawak State after more than 930 hectares, or 2.3 million acres, were burnt in Indonesia, causing hazardous levels of air pollution. Okay, that's, you know, masks for that I understand, you know, because that's smoke. You know, smoke kills. So, and in 2019 as well, novelist Margaret Atwood published The Testaments, her follow-up to The Handmaid's Tale. Huh. And I believe it's Scott's turn if he does so wishes.
Alright. So,
Trump.
I think we're almost into birthdays, right?
Nearly. We're actually going to be doing another split when we're done with the main body here.
Huh.
2019, Donald Trump.
Okay. 2019, U.S. President Donald Trump fires his third national security advisor, John Bolton.
God damn, man. You know, pick somebody. Like, stick with them. Seriously.
So, be a little tougher for you today. Anything else? Oh, we got a serious wildfire.
Yeah.
Or, two actually. The California one?
Take the last 2020s. Those are good.
Sure. California's August complex wildfire becomes largest recorded in state history at 471,000 acres or 736 square miles. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Isn't that the one that was like essentially the entire state of Delaware that we talked about the other day?
Yeah, it could be.
So, or was that 2021? I don't remember. So,
I don't know. Also, wildfires in Oregon caused 500,000 people to evacuate, 10% of the population with unprecedented 900,000 acres burned.
God.
Burnt.
Yeah. That's a lot. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move on to births and deaths, doing the split, were there, any articles that grabbed your, that grabbed your interest more than most? Not just asking you, asking the viewers. Start a dialogue, leave a comment. We will talk back. We will communicate with you. Start a dialogue and all that stuff. But like, what about you? Anything that grabbed your attention, more than most?
Well, besides tennis.
Yeah.
You have to look at it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's this arranged marriage here of Edward VI to Mary, Queen of Scots, at age 10 and 5, respectively. That was interesting.
That's one.
Yeah.
Okay, so 39. I don't know if you read that or not, but 39. Canada leadership. Mackenzie King declares war on Germany.
Yeah, that too. After Germany invaded Poland. Just 9 days prior.
Oh, and of course, Miracle Mike, the chicken.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Then there's, of course, this guy that he got a patent for the lock-stitch sewing machine. So, like, stitch on both sides of the seam so that way it acts like a zipper, But a permanent zipper that can't be unzipped, really. The first theater opening in Hawaii, that was pretty cool,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things, happen, really, like...
Yeah, there really was quite a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's do the split. Welcome to part 3. We are moving on into births now. I'm going to start us off here in the year 1169. We have Alexios. What?
That was quite a while for historical events right there.
Yeah. Well, that seems to be becoming the norm here. So.
Yep. All right.
I mean, like,
first.
Like, let me ask you this, or let me have you think about this. When I do the show myself, which I did just yesterday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, I think people showed up shortly. I don't know. I think I did it all myself. But when I do the show myself, I get it done in 15, 20, 30 minutes, somewhere in there. Just the addition of one person, which is, in this case, you. We are now approaching our second hour.
Right.
So
I've noticed.
Then we have 1169. We have Alexios II Komnenos, born on this date in history. He was a Byzantine emperor born in Constantinople, dying in 1183. And then 1487, we have Julius III, also known as Giovanni Maria Chiosci del Monte, was a counter-Reformation pope from 1550 to 1555, born in Monte San Savino, Tuscany, dying in 1555. As the majority of popes do die in office.
You're making it through the day.
What's up?
No, I said every time I see that Constantinople, I know the song, Istanbul was once Constantinople. I don't know the rest of it, but...
That is true. Anyway, your turn, sir. If you want. It appears that you've muted yourself, so I will go ahead. Oh, there you are.
Yep, no, alright. Next one. 1638.
Yep.
1638, Maria Theresa of Spain, Queen of Louis the 14th of France, born in El Escorial, Spain, died in 1683.
Look at that hair, dude.
Might be a... Wow, I wonder if that's a wig or the real hair.
It has to be a wig, like...
Probably.
Because, like, Victorian era and all that stuff, they always had wigs, Like, that wig, it looks like, it looks like one of their dresses. Like, how some dresses, like, they go down, they go, whoa, like, really wild. So... Anyway, Uno Mas. I'm scrolling. 1890, it looks like. Okay, well then 1890, we have Elsa Schiaparelli, was an Italian fashion designer, born in Rome, Italy, dying in 1973.
Alright, so, I don't know if I missed the last one I was supposed to do, but I heard what you read. Should I do 1914, or is that, I don't know if, these are hard to read, all these names. There could be somebody significant in here, but...
Oh, no, I'm just skipping over them. I'm not worried, like, yeah, like, there might be some people that we're missing, but, like, the whole art of, like, looking at things in between, really should be reserved for when somebody else is reading, and, when you're preparing for yourself or whatever. And we do it mostly in the main body because those are historical events, like people, their births, their deaths, yeah, that's pretty cool, but it's the events that are really the meat of the show.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
So, but yeah, no, you were saying 1914,
All right. Terence O'Neill, Prime Minister of Northern Ireland, Ulster Unionist Party from 1963 to 1969, born in London, England, died in 1990.
Dang. And,
Also,
ooh,
it's a good one.
Arnold Palmer.
Wow,
Go ahead.
1929 Arnold Palmer, American golfer with 7 major titles, U.S. Masters in 1958, 1960, 62, and 64. Born in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, died in 2016.
I think I'm going to have an Arnold Palmer after this. I have lemonade, although I'm not sure if it's been expired or not, but I have lemonade and tea, so...
Expired lemonade.
I don't know.
That wouldn't be good.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the expiration date. Anyway, 1934, Roger Maris was born on this date. He was a U.S. baseball right fielder, 7-time MLB All-Star with 61 home runs at 1961. Born in Hibbing, Minnesota, died in 1985.
Hibbing, Minnesota. That's where he was born? Interesting.
Apparently, yeah. And then we have Stephen J. Gould, born in 1941. He was a U.S. paleontologist and popular science writer, born in New York City, New York, dying in 2002. And I already know that you're thinking I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to. The fact that you already know what I'm thinking, just merits whatever it is I was going to say. You know what's going through my head. He looks like you.
Yeah, all right. Now I get you. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, "Yep, all right." It's the hair, of course, but
yes. Well, and a little bit of the beard too, kind of, but the hair. You have that. You have that poofy hair, like.
At least I have that poofy hair now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you get
You silly goose.
Here. 1947.
47. Larry Nelson died on this date, right? Okay, American golfer.
Born.
Birth. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Birth. Wah. American golfer, U.S. Open, 1983, PGA Championship, 1981, 1987. Born in Fort Payne, Alabama. The reason I confuse that is because that's the last one we read. Died in 2002. And I was like, oops.
Yeah. I confuse births and deaths every now and then too myself. So. And here another one. Oh, this guy. Okay.
1960. Colin Firth, English actor for Bridget Jones's Diary, The King's Speech, born in Grayshot, Hampshire.
Not New Hampshire, but Hampshire, the original Hampshire, Old Hampshire, Ancient Hampshire, Decrepit Hampshire. Anyway, Jack Ma, 1964, Chinese entrepreneur and founder of Alibaba Group, born in Hangzhou, China. Yep, they talk about Jack Ma too a lot in those shows I mentioned earlier. I know that face. That guy, he's a real piece of something, I tell you what. So we have Dan O'Toole, born in 1975. He is a Canadian sports anchor for TSN, Fox Sports 1, born in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Here's a name I've never heard before. Mr. Scott in 82.
1982, Misty Copeland, American ballerina, first African-American principal dancer at American Ballet Theater, born in Kansas City, Missouri.
That's an interesting dress she has. Like, it looks like that's painted on her, like the main part of her chest. It looks like an abstract painting or some kind of wallpaper or something from the 70s.
Yeah. It's got like shapes and stuff.
Well, there's no more highlighted, so unless there's something here that you want to grab real quick, if you can do a quick scan, or you can just head on right into Des at 210 BC.
Yeah, we can go into Des probably now.
Oh, starting us off in the year 210 BC.
210 BC. Qin Shi Huang, founder of the Qin Dynasty and first emperor of a unified China from 220 to 210 BC, dies reportedly from ingesting mercury pills meant to make him immortal at 49. Good grief.
Well, that backfired. I wonder though if this
Immortal.
is the same emperor who has that tomb that has a river Mercury around it underground or something.
I don't know,
I
but
don't know.
that's
Moving on up
Mercury.
into 1797. That is one hell of a time jump there from what 100 something
Three
BC,
something BC.
210 BC to 1797. So that's a lot of time. We have Mary Wollstonecraft, was an English author and feminist, a vindication of the rights of women, mother of Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, died of septicemia at 38.
It's septicemia.
Septicemia.
Yeah, it's like septic shock. It's blood poison, like blood infection.
You are correct. Septicemia or sepsis is the clinical name for blood poisoning by bacteria. It is the body's most extreme response to an infection. Sepsis that progresses to septic shock has a death rate as high as 50%, depending on the type of organism involved. Sepsis is a medical emergency and needs urgent medical treatment. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's not a good way to go at all. It's what happens when you don't get a sickness under control. It's just horrible. You really suffer.
Yeah, well, sepsis, it just sounds disgusting. It sounds like you're...
Yeah.
Sepsis sounds like you're sitting in, like, literal waste,
It also happens like if you have a surgery. Sometimes you get sepsis from like a surgery or something after.
Yeah,
Yep, not fun.
not fun. I think it's your turn now, 1960.
1960, Harold Gillies, New Zealand, father of modern plastic surgery. Oh, that's great. Who pioneered skin graft? Oh, well, skin grafts are good. Skin graft techniques on injured soldiers in World War I. Dies at 78 of slight cerebral thrombosis gained while operating on a leg of an 18-year-old girl. First I read that, I see plastic surgery, and then I see skin grafts. I'm like, well, I'm thinking of like plastic surgery from today and all, what plastic surgery does. But then I see skin grafts, I'm like, well, I guess that's the same thing, related to it. So, of course,
plastic
skin grafts
surgery, unfortunately, has been completely taken over purely for cosmetics. But
that's what I mean, yeah.
But it has its place, because if even as far back as like the Civil War. If somebody lost an eye, you get a fake eye. If somebody lost part of their jaw, there's actual, you can look this up. There's sections and bits and pieces of various body parts, for from pieces of your face to pieces of fingers, toes, hands, feet, arms, leg, various forms of prosthetics, like fake ears, there's this, an extreme version is a more modern situation where Alice told me about this guy. Flour somehow got up into his nasal cavity and then it got infected and then it spread and eventually they had to literally scoop his entire all of this section of his face out, and it's literally like somebody took an ice cream scoop to his face, and then then there's a prosthetic he puts on that makes it look like he has eyes, just to,
that is rough.
Yeah, so but that's plastic surgery, at least before it got totally what's the word, horrificated, I guess, by, but I mean, I've had jaw surgery. It was mostly for, medical reasons, but at the same time,
The stigma is different now.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about, cosmetics, it's all about looks, but it does still, even today, because people do, lose body parts, or even born without them,
Yeah.
That is...
stuff like cleft lips and stuff.
Yeah, like that. But cerebral thrombosis, so I want to look up what that is. Cerebral venous sinus thrombosis, or CVST, occurs when a blood clot forms in the brain's venous sinuses. This prevents blood from draining out of the brain. As a result, blood cells may break and leak blood into the brain tissues, forming a hemorrhage. So essentially, more or less, an aneurysm. So I guess he just because he died while operating on this 18-year-old girl, so it was too much, Maybe he just had a brain pop, Well, anyway, we have an Alice one here if you want to take it in 1970.
Okay. 1970, Cy Denny. Yeah, okay. Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame left wing, NHL leading scorer from 1923 and 1924, dies at 78.
Dang. Moving on up into 2007, we lost Jane Wyman, was a U.S. Academy Award-winning actress, Johnny Belinda in Magnificent Obsession, and the first wife of Ronald Reagan. She died of natural causes at the age of 90. Dang. So did he get divorced, or did he get, she was the first wife?
Yeah.
So, did Ronald Reagan get divorced? Let me look.
Well, remember, Ronald Reagan was an actor himself.
Actually, when did Reagan die? Oh, hold on a second. Did Reagan divorce? Did Reagan divorce? Wyman, who was a registered Republican, stated that their breakup was due to due to differences in politics. Reagan was still a Democrat at the time. Yeah, as you said, right?
Yeah.
So they did divorce due to political differences. Wow, whatever happened to death do us part? Whatever happened to through the best of times and worst of times? When you marry somebody, you are making an obligation, okay? And people just don't seem to get that. Nobody understands obligation. Nobody understands responsibility. Once you make a word, because a man or a woman or whatever you are, you're only as valuable as if you do what you say you're going to do, and obviously these two people didn't. So
yeah, it's all complicated.
Yep, and you know that you and I and some other people are dealing with a very similar situation of our own involving that difference in political opinion. So
yeah.
Anyway, 2011, Cliff Robinson died on this date. He was a U.S. actor for Charlie, Spider-Man. Oh, is this the same guy we talked about yesterday? He was a spokesman for AT&T and died at 88. Yeah, this is the guy who played Uncle Ben for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, let's see here. And if you want, you can take 2016 because the name is kind of funny. But otherwise, it's time to close the show out.
Yep.
You want to take 2016?
Sure. Not really. That is a weird name. Nutwigan, Norwegian. If that's even how you say it, but Nutwigan. He's a wigging out nut. I don't know. Nutwigan. Norwegian computer music pioneer, composer, dies at 89.
Dang. What a name, though. Nutwigan. It's like, hey, man, don't go nuts. You're wigging out here, bro. Like, man, I would have loved to meet this guy. I would have had so much fun with his name. But, all due respect, he's dead. May him rest in peace. And
true.
Yeah. Anyway.
Mr. Nut is no longer Wiggin.
Yep. Or Mr. Wiggin is no longer a nut. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah.
Anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, which also itself includes SoMTV on Twitch. Go check them out. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I'm Scott.
Yep. And we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time.
1 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles! Let's go, Brandon.
Bada bing.